Hi, I wanted to provide a brief overview without going into the specific details. I might give couple tips on this video, but I will make detailed rank video for all skills later, if you guys wish. So, in this video, I will rank major skill lines, and we'll talk about their differences to our game. And you should keep that in mind. There is no garbage or bad skills on this game, like other YouTubers telling you guys. There is no garbage or bad, only good and better ones and best ones. First of all, scouting. This one is last member of B tier because there is not much thing provided that other skills do, but it doesn't mean this skill line is bad. The more you have this skill, become easier to find groups from far away. And some of skills in this skill tree gives us 50% less group food consumption by each terrain. For example, some perks on this skill line, you are able to choose desert or other terrain. When you choose that, your whole group get 50% less food consumption in that terrain that you choose. So it means that you can choose which terrain you will fight most of your game time. And this skill tree gives you total 16% group movement speed on total. Sounds like it's not big difference, but believe me, it is big difference. If you are going to ask me, should I give points to this thing? To be honest with you, answer is no. Because especially if you don't open that automatic companion skill option, the skill option that chooses companion skills automatically. If you pass that, if you don't open this one before you start the play to start the game, you can find almost all level companions have this skill set. So if you can't find companion like this, you can find low level companion. Raise them like scout. Simple. With that being said, when your scout companion on your group, they will make your scouting. So because of that, scouting is I put this skill in low B tier. So please make sure if you don't want to take this, you don't want to give extra point on this skill line. You are at the character section, character making section. Make sure to avoid the hunter, forester, nomad. You should avoid that three thing on your character make a background section. Second low tier B is engineering. I personally believe it becomes more important for you to level up this one with each passing patch. There wasn't as much needed for it in the past, but some of you guys maybe will get angry. Game should more change if you want to rank higher this skill. So here's the thing, all of the skills except one skill on this one perk on the skill line have party member skill effect. It doesn't mean this is the skill line also can find on companions, or you can make one like Scout. You have to add, but to be honest with you, yes, you have to have at least one good engineer companion in your party. One is not enough if you are going to ask me, but you have to have at least one good engineer. As for fire catapult, extra damage and durability for siege weapons on the siege, plus can make managers from engineers, especially the managers of castles. It's really going to be big impact if you are going to try to defend on your castle. That companion must must possess engineering skills if you want to develop your regions you have taken. We have 0.25% plus per level town's governor's engineering level. With that, what does it mean? 0.25 per level of the town's governor's engineering level. Impact town project speed. Let's say one of your companion has no engineering skill. The other companion you have has 100 point engineering skill. Let's say the second one going to double your town project speed. 0.25 per level of the governor's engineering level. Governor who has engineering skills, but group siege engine product capacals 0.1% per level based on the party's total engineering level. What does it mean? It means that how much engineer you have on your group, it's become easier to make siege faster. It's become faster to make siege weapons. And for example, when you have really good engineer on your group, and the other side, when you are going to attack the castle, and the castle doesn't have any engineering skill commander. What does it mean? They are going to out of the siege engines, siege weapons, like capacals. When you have everything, they are out of every siege weapons. So this is important. But by the way, I believe there is a cap for this also. Like for example, when you have like 10 companion member and you give all engineering skill, all of them, you are not going to use effectively. there's a cap for that also, so keep that in mind. But still, this is low tier B for now, until they will make change about the group to personal skill perks. Again, another low tier B, athletics. The reason is this skill low tier B because this is the skill you can increase without extra effort. So when you move, you will increase this skill. So there is no much extra effort. That's why low tier B. Other than that, the skill line perks are average. Nothing special like health point, HP, movement speed. Oh, there is only one really good perk on this skill line. It's giving us the less movement speed penalty when we have too many items in our inventory. Other than that, they all average skill perks, most of them. We have pros and cons. This is the first skill we have pros and cons for this skill line for athletics. Here's the thing, running speed going to increase by 0.06% per level. In this skill line, for example, when you have 200 level on the skill line, it's going to be, your running speed is like really good. It's going to be really good. That gives this skill line which is fast. But cons is nobody telling you guys, but this is be not good cons. The step size on the map is going to increase by every level you have on this skill line, like other Mount and Blade games. Sounds like a joke to you, but no. You can search on the game files and you will see. The more you have athletics on skill level, your group size, step size on the map is going to be bigger and people can find you from far away. Low tier B trade. This skill is easy, not like athletics, but easy to increase also, because you will make the trade from caravans or workshop on the city yet, fight and win and make loot from the other group, and you are going to sell that item. You are going to increase this trade level, even if you don't own caravans or workplace on the city. But unlike athletics, these skill line perks are amazing, especially for making money and social skill influence also. Believe me, skill line is really good. Get in mind, I want to give you a tip. We will gain plus 0.2% per level trade penalty reduction. What does it mean? It means that when every item we trying to buy going to be lower price. Another high tier B skill riding. One of the easiest skill that you can level up, maybe easiest one. You will go everywhere because on horseback, that's why. And this skill tree start with the average perks, then goes to the good perk. Especially last perks are really good. We will get maximum mount difficulty +1 per level, a horse speed 0.2 per level, and horse maneuver 0.04 per level, which is really good. To be honest with you, you need to reach certain level on this skill line. You don't need to go for hard extra effort for this skill line. You don't need. To be fair, yes, you have to reach some skill line because to ride good horse and benefits from the horse speed per level. So that's why you should reach some certain level on the skill line. Our last high tier B skill is Roguery. I want to tell you guys this Rogue skill line rank is going to different when you play the hardest mods. I make this ranking system for sandbox, the easiest one, because 99% you guys and me included playing easiest level, which is not easy, but it is what it is. If you are going to play hard on hard levels, hard game mods, I can guarantee you that we have to put this skill line S or S+. Oh, before I forget, this skill line is the hardest to level up. The hardest to level up. Because always you have to raid towns, escape from captivity, plundering lords and peasants. You should hire the bandit troops also most of the time. And after new patches, I believe you have to play like mercenaries if you want to level up this Roguery skill line. Like plunder the towns you took like other mercenaries do. For fast level up on this Roguery line, you can kill the noble people of Calradia, because all of that things, as I said, the whole Calradia kingdoms, the whole noble people going to hate you. Except guess what? Who? Bandit troops on the map. Couple of perks are good on this Roguery skill line, but does it make worth all things that we have to do? I'm not sure. Unless if you're not playing the hardest game mods, like with Iron Man save mode plus the hardest game mode, yes, you can go with this one. But let me give you a tip. I believe not much people know this one, but when you're trying to level up Rogue skill line and fast as you can sneak into the enemy castles or towns for the free lords for enemy, and you can make extra effort selling enemy lords as slave. This is how you can level up Rogue skill line. Last thing I want to tell, you will receive battle loot every 0.25% per level on this skill. What does it mean? Like battle loot, each battle when you finished, you have the loot, right? This battle loot every 0.25% per level on this skill line is going to increase. Yeah, it sounds like not good, but remember, you will get into thousands fights in this game. So every fight, you will get the, let's say you have 100 point on this skill line, you will get the 5%, 10% extra loot, which is good. It's really good to, at least it's really good to reach certain level on this skill line also, even if you are not going to play like mercenaries. One of the last tier A skill is crossbow. Here's the thing: crossbow and two-handed skill lines. I will come to that two-handed, but is early game best skills. Crossbow and two-handed skill line is early game best weapon skills. Crossbow is easy to level up, easy to use for early game. This skill line has really good perks also, messing up with the enemy battle morale and more damage and attack speed for your sharpshooters. You will get a less recruitment for sharpshooters for your town. You will gain increases crossbow reload speed by 0.07 per level and crossbow accuracy by 0.05% per level for your character also. I mean, that's good skill line, not the best one actually, because of good skill line for our soldiers. You have to, here's the thing, you have to need more armor piercing weapons on the late game, but overall good skill line. Polearm. Early game B minus, late S plus skill. That's why I put this skill on A. First of all, this skill line hard to level up, especially if you don't like to use this type of weapons. And the low level polearm, I know weapons low level, the cheap polearms are really bad. I already know that you will go with another type of bad weapon instead of bad level polearm weapons. I don't judge you, don't get me wrong, I've been there. But you have to level up polearm and throwing skills for the late game. Even game doesn't like this weapon also, because game gives us weapon speed and damage around plus 0.06% per level, which is not good. I know this polearm doesn't have best perks on the line, but if you are against the cavalry, which is most of the time on the game, every battle, you have to use polearm soldiers, and no one telling you that, but for the first stage of your castle or town defenses, they are the best. Two-handed skill line. There isn't a two-handed skill line on the A tier here. Two-handed skill line is always a good skill line. Neither too little, neither too much. Easy to use, fastest to level up. Actually, best skill on the early game, in my opinion. Fun to play. Butcher couple people one hit, like cuts from Berserk. We have good perks also, messing up the enemy battle morale. The skill lines actually like Hood Hitman. Got me. Actually, the two-handed skill line perks, all of them are really good. You will get weapon damage 0.16% per level and 0.06 per level speed for the speed. Actually, as weapon, better than all weapon skill lines for that percentage. And I really like to playing two-handed also. Most of the time I really like, I use two-handed skill line. But guess what? Two-handed is early till S plus game, drop at A line and stays there, unfortunately. One of the best A tier skill line is bow. Man, I don't like playing with bow, which is boring, but you need bowman soldiers in defense, attack, every realm of this game, and easy to level up and use. Let me give you a tip. In every mountain blade game, old or new game, doesn't matter. When you hit targets from far away with bow, you will get extra experience point on this skill line for sure. In the bow perks, we don't have much perk for our character, which is not good, but just couple good perks for us. But for bowman soldiers, you have armor piercing, battle start, morale increase, damage increase we have, which is really good for every battle. And usable bow difficulty +1 per level. Bow damage 0.11% per level we have received when we level up. Accuracy 0.09% per level, which is not bad. Well, overall for us it's boring to play. I don't know. I don't like this bow skill line, but believe me, you have to level up for your bowman soldiers and for your every battle on the game. Best A tier steward. The skill line is not perfect, but all perks on this skill line have really good impact overall everything in game. We have party management perks, we have economic perks, party morale, and town efficiency, military perks. I really want to this skill line S tier, but because of the hard level increase, I did not. You have to manage an estate or being administered a town for level up on this skill line. We will have increase party size by 0.225 per level. Well, make sure level up this one. And I have personal tip for you. If you want to increase your steward skills, make sure spend time on your settlements as clan leader or governor. Yes, lowest S tier, S minus tier, smiting. I feel like you guys looking on screen, why this skill on the S tier line? Answer is simple. When you max out your smiting skill, you can make best weapons. Even goodest weapons on the market can't reach the stats you will make when you are 300 level on smite. I believe you got my point. You might have 3 or 4 each weapon stat increase. Does not enough for effort that we are going to give. Well, you can max out other skills instead of this one and buy your best weapons from markets. That's the option also. This skill line is easy to level up. We have tiring cap on our character that limits us for making weapons or demolishing weapons, but you can rest a little bit, then turn to the work like that. You can level up. You can demolish weapons and travel town by town and make weapon for people on the city. In that way, you can make money. You will increase your level on the skill line. Let me give you one of the best smiting tip. Did you realize? I mean, red bad stats on weapon when you smite. Do you know why this is happening? Here's the thing: a smiting skill that is higher than the crafted weapon difficulty will allow crafting without penalty, without red bad stats. For example, when you have 50 smiting skill, but you are about to craft some weapon around 55 smiting skill. Yes, you can. Game allow you to do that, but you will receive -1 to -4 per level you ahead for per level in this situation. Like, for example, 50 smiting skill, but you want to item requires to the 55 on this skill point. Game allow you to do, but you will get a -5 to -20 total across all stats, which is not good. That's why make sure you reach the requirements when you try to craft the skill. If you don't, just leave it and make other one. When you level up, you can do. Another tier as drawing skill line. Right now we have piercing weapon skill line, and there are good perks that gives us good numbers about everything on this skill line. We will see drawing weapon perks, combat bonuses, tactical advantage, requirement and training bonuses, governance and settlement bonuses. Almost all aspect of the game we will have good numbers with these skill line perks. Plus we have throwing speed, throwing damage, throwing weapon accuracy around by 0.07% per level on this skill line. Overall, best weapon skill, because this weapon skill line there's a perks that give good numbers about everything in game except trading and social skill. But other than that, every aspect of the game we will get good perks on this skill line. Another S tier leadership. One of the most critical skill line on this game. On the perks, we have experience boost per day for us, even party in the garrison troops. We have morale and experience boost after fights. Morale perks like additional morale at the beginning of battles, morale gain for victories, battle morale during the siege, assault, and defense. Recruitment and troop upgrades like increased recruitment level for units. Tier 3 plus troops ignore retreat, low morale. Unique perks like town loyalty boost, better battle experience, increased of the garrison size by level on this skill line. Actually, only thing that you can find on this skill line, the years you lost. I mean, one of the best skill on this game. Another S tier is charm, aka influence. Not similar as metrics, but birds of feather flock together. You got my point. The skill line also one of the best skill perks. But most important is you have to use your tongue. I mean your dialogue with the people all around the Calradia. We do have influence and morale boosts when we win the fights and tournaments, especially if you like the go tournaments and fight for money. Believe me, this skill line is for you. And we do have familial and relationship benefits on this skill line, like likelihood having a kid, increased relations boost with settlements. We can recover influence spent when supported purpose or fail. You know, we have two currency in game, gold and influence. As lord, some kingdom things, we have to use that influence as currency also. Because of that, the skill line is really good. And we can have much winning percentage when we discussion or something with lords. Even trading with lords and other people going to affect by the skill line perks also. Like for example, when you guys try to, if you are become king and try to take lords to your side, you have to level up this skill line also. Because of that, you will get extra percentage when you try to get him on your side. I believe you understand my point. You do have settlement and faction bonuses like town security and loyalty. We do have faction loyalty also. which is the really good. No other skill line gives you that. Faction loyalty, influence, and relationship bonuses based on the completed project on towns. Like for example, when you give money to town and start establish some project on town, after the town after that project finish, you'll get 1 or 2, let's say, influence by that. But if you have good level on this skill line, you will get 3 times 4 times more than that. So which is very good. Increasing companion limits also, and companions, which is the one of the best things here. Companions are gain more experience before. Plus we will get influence currency based on our leadership. Some of you guys think I will take all of the castles, but my king doesn't want to give one of them to me. That's why you have to level up this skill line if you want faction loyalty. Now you know. Plus, we do have double relationship with lords when aiding them in battle. Save them in the battle, in the map. You guys get double relationship. S- tier skill is medicine. Actually, yes, I heard you. You can find doctor companions around the world. I do agree, but this skill line have too many personal skill perks, and without that personal medicine skill perks, we are going to vulnerable on the battles. Plus, we can't go fight after fight, which is at least most of the time on this game what's happened. So on the personal perks, we do have character health point increase, HP increase. The character heals 30% of lost healed points after each battle, and overall healing rate is increased by 30% also. And most important, 50% chance of getting wounded instead of getting killed on the battles. Back in the day, this one is not a thing you should think too much. But right now they changed the time system on the game, so the time goes faster in the game. I believe you have to take this one. And we can take those skills even if we have best doctor companions on our team. So that's why this skill line on S tier. The moment they change this skill line and able to use like other B tier companion skills, of course we can find this skill perk on the B tier like other companion skills. But still, we do have many personal perks on this skill line, and they are very critical to take. Unfortunately, I don't like also, but it is what it is. Also for the also for the group perks, we do have during siege, reduce food consumption, increased group hail rate when we are mobile in the world map. Sometimes it's not working also. This one is not working, but I mean, this is Bannerlord. It is what it is. Some of skill we work better than other every patch. So recover 10 HP after each battle. Medicine skills also applies to the enemy casualties, increasing potential prisoners and decreasing wounded party speed penalty rate 50%. What does it mean? It's mean like you can use your potential prisoner if you have siege trait on the other skill line, which is allow you to use your prisoners as slave to make siege weapons, which is you can combine them. I believe you got me. Wounded troops do not decrease morale, which is the best, which one of the best perk in this skill line. Wounded troops do not decrease morale in the battles, and bunch of really good group skills. I could count more. This skill line is the one of the best actually. You can find doctor companions, but some of the personal perks is really critical to playing this game. So unfortunately, you have to level up this one. One of the best skills on the game is tactic. I don't know why other brain dead YouTubers put it on middle or last on the line. Maybe they are coming from first year of this game. I don't know. But it's not mid tier or bad tier. Plus, if they are still think like that, I can guarantee you that they have zero knowledge about this game. This skill is S++ tier. Maybe you might playing on sandbox and changing your battle tactics on the battle 3 or 4 time maximum in the battle, but believe me, this skill line does deserve to be here. You might tell that, yeah, well, we can hire some companion that has tactic skills and we can make them commander of the battle. Well, actually you can do that, and there is only one personal skill perk on this line, to be honest with you. But guess what? All other skills want captain, party leader, governor, army commander title, which is it's meant to be should be you. When you put your companion on the commander role in the big army fight, you will use. And I believe, plus most of the time you will be some kind of lord that who takes order from the king in war. or the commander in the war. So I believe you will get the point actually. Those titles means that party leader, governor, captain, army commander, those titles, perk titles, telling you that you are the one. Not always party leader and governor, most of the time same. But guess what? When you fight in army, you will have to have the skill lines. And skill line is really easy to level up. Only thing you should just command on your fights, command your troops on your fights. After that we will get total simulation damage. We will get total simulation damage 0.1 per level, which sounds not good percentage, but believe me, it is. Like when you have level up this skill line, you will get away with less sacrifice troop numbers. Like you are not going to leave your whole troops when you try to get away, when you try to leave the fight. For overall, we do have reduced damage from ranged troops, sharpshooters and bowman troops in simulations. We do have morale penalty reduction. We do have increased damage to cavalry, which is most of the time in the simulation. And again, a morale penalty reduction for the cavalry troops, better damage in simulation on specific terrains and movement bonuses, increased party size, slower cohesion decline, additional troops in the hideout battles. For example, many of you guys full other skills and can't do any hideout. You might tell me that why should I do hideout? Well, most of the time I will agree with you. They have to change a little bit hideouts, but for the early game, hideout is really pretty good for the making money also. And movement speed bonuses for small formations, like for example when you try to get away from the city, you get attacked, or when you try to leave captured lord from the city, you will get speed bonus for small formations. Increased damage on simulation, bonus against bandits, no morale penalty for disorganization, faster movement for parties joining your army, reduced influence costs for army creation, siege engine damage and casualty rates in the siege, reduced damage for tier every 3 point plus units in the simulation, damage reduction for your formation soldiers that you control on the battle, damage boost based on tactic skill when we give order on the mans in the field. I mean, yeah, a little bit from everything, but and overall really good impact. Totally, it's going to be a really good impact to our fights, which is 99% what we do in this game. So last S tier skill 100, which is still best skill line for 100. I doesn't like personal skill advantage, personal perks from this skill line plus as weapon. This is the still best skill since almost all soldiers types use 100 swords and the soldier bonuses are very good, so that's why this skill line is the best. So overall, as you can see, this is the ranking system for me, and especially try and see for yourself. And you know what? I'm gonna share one chart that going to help you that on your journey. Here's the chart. The chart is that it's going to be counted by like vigor, Soch, CNG, CTR, intelligent, endurance. Endurance is the last one, vigor is the best one. Like for example, when you don't know where you are going to give your skill points, if you don't know or you don't have any guide for the game, this is what I use most of the time, and it's really effective. I'm gonna give one vigor, one Soch, one CNG, one CTR, one int, one end. But here's the thing, CNG and CTR most of the time almost same, because CNG one have like S tier skill line and two B tier skill line. What does it mean? It means that we can count as middle. CTR doesn't have any decent skills, only good and best one, which is we can count CNG and CTR almost equal. That's why I make this chart. This chart is going to help your journey if you are not follow the specific guides. If you want, you can play like this, and I believe you will get really benefit from this chart also. Thank you. Thank you for watching me. If you want, by the way, anything to ask, share, or tell, any criticism, or you want my knowledge about this game, so you can ask also. I can make guide about that. So thank you very much. Bye bye.